Hey, hey everybody, here we are. We are going to create this necklace. So, hopefully I'm in frame. I'm in the upstairs today using my stuff. So if you were following along on the morning coffee, you know that we did our Unplanned and Unbothered video this morning. So I got one earring done, which I have to finish these up. I'll probably do that in a different video. And I put these in a bag so I don't lose all the parts. And then we're going to work on this little necklace. And I better put a few, beads in there so I don't forget that I gotta have some. So finish those up on a different thing. Okay, so if you were following along with us in the morning coffee, you know that we already did up our pendant, so the pendant is ready. I'm in debate if I'm going to put that little charm on there or not, but for right now, this is what we got going on. So this is a pendant that I ordered from Miss Gina. So Miss Gina is Lakefront Jewels by Gina, and she has a website, but she has agreed to create some pieces for Thunderhorse Descendant. So we got our first round of pieces, and this was in there. Sorry, I was having a little bit of coffee. And so we got that rocking and rolling this morning. And we kind of already got our little design. So if you missed this, this was the design. We're going to do 3 little hangy down parts on the chain here next to the pendant. I'm going to use these closed jump rings to kind of stack them up and attach the chain, which is kind of just a design choice. And then we're going to go like this here and create it. So let's get rocking and rolling, huh? Where should we start? Let's get our beading wire. Beading wire. Let's do let's see, I have a metallic. I don't know that I want to use a metallic. I have just medium, but quite honestly, I don't really need medium. So, what else do I got? Most of what I have up here is medium, I guess. So, I guess we'll go with the medium. Alright, so I think first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to string the beaded portion, because that would probably be the easiest way to go. So I want this to be maybe about an 18 with an extender. So I think I'll get 20 inches just to be safe. Come on, drawer. You can do it. Get shut. There we go. All right, so let's start in the middle, and we're just going to start with our stringing process in the middle. So I'm going to put probably 5 beads. 5. So I got 5 of these 6s on there. I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to go ahead and put on my pendant. Yeah. So that's pretty good. Then I'll be able to move around. I'll put the bead ender on this side. All right, so then I think I'll do one of these guys. All right, so now we are going to need to be able to stop these rings from moving. So I'm gonna go into our bead soup and I'm gonna see what kind of bead we can come up with for that. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm in my little bead soup here, so I just need something that's big enough to block this up. I'm sure we have something. This is interesting. Here's a pearl. A pearl would probably be good. A lava stone. It's a little darker than I would like. Here's a genuine pearl. So let's use these 2 genuine pearls for each side over here. And here's 2 other little pearls we might sprinkle in. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's another one. Put all this bead soup back. So I generally keep a bead soup near me at all times. For these particular instances, oh, here's another pearl. And you're like, oh, I just need a little something. Don't know what that something is. This is what you do. There we go. Okay, make sure we're back in it here. Okay, so then on this side, I'm gonna take this bigger pearl and put him on. And I'm gonna stack these rings on top. So now the rings can't move. Cool. And I am going to stick these little guys inside of the rings. So I'm going to put 5. And how many rings do I have on there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is fine. Do this little gold guy. And then I'm just going to build this up a little bit on this side so I know what I'm doing, what I'm working with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put a little gold spacer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Put a little gold spacer. I'm going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my space. Now these are going to be able to move on the down. So I think what I'll do here is I'm going to put this white pearl. Then I'm going to put my 4 rings. Then I'm going to put my beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we don't need 5. Let's do 3. 3 beads, and then I'm going to put this pearl on the top so that they can't move. So what I have figured out thus far with this is that if I put these on, I gotta come over to this side and I gotta reassess this here, because I should have a bead here that's gonna stop those from moving. Now if you want the bottoms to move, that's fine. You wouldn't need them to not move. The top is really more important than the other part. But for this instance, I think that I want them to not move, so I'm going to put this guy on. And then my rings, which should hold them in place. Yes, block it up. 3, 4. Then put on my 1, 2, 3. Then the larger pearl, which is going to stop them from moving this way, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gold guy, and then this is what is the part that's going to go through our bail. So again with the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the pendant on over the top. Now we got her. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, so I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit here. So basically what we did is we at first didn't have a pearl here, so I just basically put that pearl on. I had to take everything off and rework it, but now these rings are unable to move. Why is that important? On each side the rings are unable to move because this is what I'm going to attach my chain to, and I don't want it to be able to move around. In addition, these are the beads that go through the bail, but the bail is big enough to move, right? So this one is going to stop it from being able to go anywhere further, right? So we are on it. We are on it. So now I'm going to put the stopper on this side. I'm going to get these chains out of the way for the time being so you can see what we're doing. And I'm going to come over to this side. Now, I did find a couple of pearls I'm probably just going to sprinkle in. I don't know that either of those pearls are big enough to stop this pendant from moving. But what I think is big enough is if we did a pearl and this little guy. I mean, it is possible that he would get through there, but honestly, I'm not too terribly worried about it. So now I'm gonna go up this way. So now my my pattern is kind of 10. Since there's going to be a lot of gold over here, I did 10 and then a spacer. Over here, I'm going to do 5 and a spacer for this side. 2, 3, 4, 5, spacer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a spacer. I'm not necessarily alternating these in any way. I just am using them however. 4, 5, and a spacer. Okay. 1, I'm going to throw on this extra pearl. 2, 3, 4, 5, and a spacer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a spacer. 5, and a spacer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a spacer. Okay, so we're working our way up here. So again, this is just, oh, I'm zoomed in a little bit. So this is just the bead portion. And this is where we're at with it. So now remembering that this is technically right here in between these two is technically supposed to be the middle, right? So I'm going to keep going on this side a little bit more, and then we'll switch over. So, stick this guy over here. And now for these ones, I'm doing 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a spacer. And the reason for that is there's going to be a lot of gold here with the chain, and so I wanted this side to have a little more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And a spacer. And a zip of coffee. A little zip of coffee. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out thus far. And then once we get the chains on, super good. And quick. The actual putting it together process doesn't take very long once you have the design down. That is what I find. But you can make this design with a bunch of different types of beads. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm more of a I do what I feel at the moment kind of person. I make a lot of plan videos, but that's mostly just so I can remember what I said. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're probably just gonna stop there. This one does have a little star on it. I guess I could put it on there. Maybe I'll keep it on there. Okay. So here is our, let me get this out of the way. This is our beaded portion now. So I didn't even use that whole tube of beads. $2.45, can't beat it. So we didn't even use the whole tube of beads, but here we are thus far. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put on my findings. And I'm just going to crimp it and everything and get everything going as soon as I find them. Am I going to use, yeah. I do have an Old Faithful for this. So I'm going to use an Old Faithful. Why not? Maybe I better not. Maybe I better use a lobster for the simple fact that I do want to use an extender chain because this may sit differently on people, right? So you want the ability to kind of move it around a little bit. So I am going to use a lobster instead so it can be adjustable. I have a swiveling lobster and I have this little extender chain. This one, looking for one that maybe matches a little better. Here's a stainless steel one. Okay. Bum bum. Okay, so now we need a crimp bead and we're off to the races. Got some crimp tubes there. Those are size 2, which is what you use with the medium if you are unaware. I'm going to use a oval jump ring. You know what? I seen a little wound up piece of pearl in here. What are the odds we can get to it? Woo! Yep. There he is. A little pearl. I was gonna say, he's a different color. Do we care about that? I don't. So it's gonna go on the end of the necklace. Okay, since this one doesn't have anything on it, I'll start here. And I'm going to need my crimper. Crimp looks good. Winter? No, no. Winter's doing naughty girl things, of course. I'm gonna put this right on there. Why not? Oh, I just realized. I just realized I don't really need this little guy because he's got a little heart on the end. Okay. Put him back. All right, so there we have the beaded portion of our necklace. Okay, the beaded portion. And now, so I got my lobster hook on the left side, just in case you were wondering why I did that. I didn't realize I was doing it, but that's fine. Left-handed people need love too. So there you go. Okay, now we are going to put on the chain part. So I'm going to start with the heaviest chain that I got. The heaviest chain is this one. So, get my cutter out here. And I'm going to put this to the longest, furthest one away. I'm going to give it a little bit of slack, so I'm going to go right here, I believe. So I'm actually cutting, I'm not cutting the jump ring, I'm cutting this little piece off. And then down here, I'm going to attach it. Do I have any Tinker Tots in here that are gold? Doesn't look that way. Okay, so I'm going to come up here to the very top ring and I'm going to attach it with this little jump ring. Okay, I'm going to attach onto this jump ring, and I'm going to attach this one onto the bottom. And then I'm going to assess. So when it's hanging, is this too much bulk? Which I do believe it is. So it's looking like I'm going to have to take off this extra guy right here. So again, in order to do that, I'm going to cut this guy, the link part. Okay, so I'm going to take this one off. Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So you can see, I don't know if you can see at this angle, but when it's hanging, you don't want it to be too droopy. Droopiness hanging off over here. You know what I mean? So now we're going to go to the next chain. So this one is done. We've got this little bit of chain. And we've got this little bit of chain. So I'm going to then move on to, I'm going to skip one ring, go to the next, and attach, and come down here. So I've skipped one. I'm going to skip one on here and go to the next. As you can see, this little piece of chain is a little bit long for that. So again, I'm going to have to trim off a little bit. Because I mean, your chain situation is completely up to you, but I don't want this little bit of chain hanging down extra from the other one. Now, you could measure this and do all that business, but even sometimes if you measure, it doesn't always work out. So I always just do it however I see fit at the time. It's just how I do it. So I'm going to take off a little smidge. I took off maybe, I don't know, 6 links or so. And you also have to know too that your jump ring is going to add length. Okay. Now if you wanted to add a little extra touch of something, you could also add a little something on that plain chain if you wanted to. That one could even have stand to lose a little bit more, but I'm going to leave it. We'll see how this one looks on. If it looks funky, then we might take another little bit off that second chain. At this point right now, they're both about the same size. Now this one is significantly shorter, just eyeballing it. This one I'm going to put on the very last one, or technically the first one, up here. And it's going to come down here, and with this jump ring, put this very first one here. Okay. And let's see what we're working with. Okay, I gotta hold it up so I can see if there's any. No, it's actually hanging very good. I'll tell you what though, I know you guys are maybe probably struggling to see the hangingness of this, but I am going to go ahead and take another couple links off of this second chain. Just maybe 1 or 2, nothing crazy. Give it a little trim up. Okay. Now we should be sitting pretty good. Let's see what we got. Yep. All right. So here we are. Hope you guys can see that. I'll zoom in on it. So this is what it's looking like flat on the mat. When it hangs down, it is hanging nicely. Everything, all these are like, you know, facing down and everything. It looks like it's supposed to be that way. It's not looking like things are way droopy. I don't particularly care for like when things are too long on the side, because then they get to being too droopy for me, and I don't care for that. So there is that guy. Now, if this was a problem and you did yours on the wrong side, a way you can correct that is really easy. I'll show you how to do it. Just so you know, in case you need to know. Okay. So you are going to have to sacrifice your lobster claw. I'm just going to cut it. Don't worry. And then over here, you're going to have to sacrifice one link on your guy. Okay. So you've cut your findings. This one is no good. This one is still good. So all you're going to do is you're just going to then attach it with the jump ring. So this is what they call a cold connection. Now, the reason this is important, and I'm bringing it up, is I could have left it that way. No problem. Oh, is my camera still working? I think it is. It went dark. It must be going to die. But should anybody ask you to do this, to change something, say like at a sale or whatever, this is why I really like a cold connection most of the time, is because then if you got to switch something out or they've had it for a while, they need new findings, if you use a jump ring, you can just replace the jump ring. You don't have to cut any wire. You don't have to restring the whole bit or do anything. You can just literally change out a jump ring, change a broken lobster clasp, put it on the other side. So like if we had taken these off and they had jump rings, it would be really easy, and you wouldn't have had to sacrifice one. If a left-handed person wanted it, you could just say, no problem, I'll just switch it to the other side for you. You know what I mean? So there we go. Now it's on the right side for a right-handed person. There we go. All right, guys, looks like my phone's getting ready to die, so I am going to go ahead and I'll grab up some photos of this for you. I hope you can see the whole thing. Let me zoom out. It says 4%. So here it is. I will get some photos of it, and I'll put those in at the end, but I think it turned out really good. Again, these are things that we designed on Design on the Fly in the morning. So if you like them, please make sure to give it a like, give me a comment, come to one of our Unplanned and Unbothered morning time talks, and design some stuff. Unplanned and Unbothered. All right, guys, I hope you have a lovely, spectacular, amazing beading day. Please don't forget to make a comment in the comments. That is very helpful to me. And also subscribe if you're not subscribed, so you can find me on the internet again. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.